If you feel stuck, like the last 5 years have just kind of vanished without any real change, I want you to know this isn't a coincidence. Think of this as the sign you've been looking for. This is your wake-up call, and it all starts with one very simple question.
So let's just get right to it. How much longer are you going to stay right where you are? Seriously, another year? Another 5? Just think about it for a second. The version of you that has everything you've ever wanted, they're out there, waiting, practically begging you to just start.
So right now, you have a choice. It's that simple. You can just go back to sleep, keep repeating the same old patterns, avoiding the discomfort of change. Or you can choose to actually wake up, to really listen to this, and to finally take ownership of your own life.
Because that's the first and most important rule here. It's your life, which means it is absolutely your choice. The power and, the responsibility, it's all in your hands.
Look, it's time to stop living in a fantasy world. Your life isn't defined by your big dreams or the grand plans you tell all your friends about. Not at all. It's defined by the small, consistent things you do every single day, especially when nobody's watching. That's the only thing that actually moves the needle.
And here's the thing about those big ambitions. Every single one of them comes with a price tag. It's not negotiable, and you have to pay it upfront. So let's break down what that price actually is.
You want to be great? The price is obsession. It means while everyone else is sleeping, you're working. While they're complaining, you're figuring it out. It's this relentless, burning hunger for whatever it is you're trying to build.
You want to be a true expert at something? The price is repetition. It's the boring stuff. It's the unglamorous work of doing the same thing over and over and over again until it's just part of you. Mastery is built in the reps.
And if you really, truly want to be free, the price is responsibility. I know, it's a paradox, right? But real freedom doesn't come from avoiding commitments. It comes from owning your actions, your choices, and your future.
And finally, the one price that follows almost every major goal is loneliness. The path to building anything meaningful is, a lot of the time, a solo journey. You have to be willing to walk it alone. So the real question is, are you willing to pay up?
The only way to pay that price and actually move forward is with action. It's time to stop thinking about it, stop planning it, stop talking about it, and just start doing.
There are really only two types of people in this world. There's the thinker, who ends the year in the exact same spot they started, wondering where the time went. And then there's the doer, who moves in silence, lets the results do the talking, and just quietly keeps building. You have to ask yourself, which one are you?
So if you're ready to become a doer, I want you to burn this number into your brain. 180. This isn't just a number, okay? It's a challenge. It's a promise you make to yourself.
Welcome to Project 180. Here's the deal. For the next 180 days, you go into ghost mode. You disappear. You get real comfortable with that loneliness we talked about. You just put your head down, you work hard, you stay consistent, and you stay focused. And I promise you, on day 181, you're going to look in the mirror and thank yourself for it.
This is such a powerful way to reframe procrastination. See, every time you put something off, you're not just delaying it, you're taking on debt. You skip the gym, that's physical debt. You procrastinate on that important work project, career debt. You avoid that difficult conversation, relationship debt. And that debt, it always has to be paid back, and usually with some hefty interest.
But look, the biggest battle you're going to face during this whole transformation, it's not out there. It's in here. Because your mind is, and always will be, absolutely everything. Does this cycle look familiar to you? You feel anxious because you're not seeing results, but you don't have results because you're not taking action. And you don't take action because, well, you feel anxious. It's a trap, a vicious loop, and the only way to break it is to force yourself to take one tiny action, right now.
And as you start breaking that cycle, it's kind of helpful to remember the lessons that nature teaches us all the time. A tree doesn't shoot up to its full height overnight, right? It shows us that real, strong, lasting growth, it requires patience.
And the wind teaches us something just as important. You can be flexible. You can change your direction, you can pivot, you can try a new approach, all without ever losing sight of your ultimate purpose.
Seriously, forget about what everyone else thinks. Stop trying to get external validation. At the end of the day, there are only two people you need to make proud. The 10-year-old you, who had those huge, unfiltered dreams, and the 80-year-old you, who's going to look back on this exact moment. Make them both proud.
What we're talking about here is choosing the harder path. It's about making a conscious decision to join that tiny fraction of people who are willing to do what most people just aren't.
And this visual just says it all, doesn't it? 99% of people are just standing still, waiting for the escalator of life to hopefully carry them up. The other 1%, they're taking the stairs. Yeah, it's harder, it takes more effort, but they're the only ones who are actually moving up. Which group are you in? Let's think about it this way. All that hard internal work we've been talking about, Project 180, building discipline, that's your branding. That's you building your authentic self, your values, your substance. Marketing is what comes after. That's when you project that value out into the world. Marketing grabs attention for sure, but your brand, your core identity, that's what grabs the heart. You have to build the brand first. Okay, let's get real for a second. We're halfway through the year. That means there are exactly 6 months left. And once again, here you are faced with 2 simple choices.
In 6 months, are you going to look back and thank yourself for having the guts to just start today? Or are you going to be in this exact same spot, filled with regret that you heard all this and still chose to do nothing? The choice, as it always has been, is yours.